Like you ask the General Assembly for action on things, and they deliver pretty quickly. You got Jobs Ohio through, CSI, the pill mill bill, the tax changes for American Greetings.
And for Diebold.
And for Diebold?
Yeah.
Do you see this as a, I mean, is it you? Is it your ideas? Is it,
Sure.
To what do you attribute your success?
I think that would be like bragging or trying to take credit. Look, Batch and Niehaus and I work together very closely. We are honest with one another. I tell them what's happening. I don't hide anything from them, and I listen to them. I visit with them regularly. They can tell me what they think, and it's just been a good partnership, and they've been good leaders. But if you take these things that we're doing that you enumerated, I mean, they're all basically designed to help get jobs going. And in this case, I mean, this is just such a natural, right? But I think we're just having a lot of good success now. And I have a sense that, people are starting to realize there's some good things happening now. We're winning more. And, on the jobs front, on the action front, I think it's good.
Can you comment some about the additional drop of 0.3% in the unemployment rate?
Well, I mean, it's obviously great news. I mean, I don't want to be saying it's because of me. I will say the reason the Indians are in first place is because of me. But in all seriousness, it's good. I mean, Jamie Dimon came in. He said, you saw his quotes in the paper. Ohio's becoming more favorable. But, you just can't focus on these numbers at any point in time. We have a long way to come back. I mean, we're starting to get there. When I talk to CEOs, and I would encourage you to talk to them, we're starting to get a sense from them that maybe Ohio's getting itself together a little bit. But you got to remember the hole we've been in. I mean, we've lost more jobs than every state in America except for Michigan and California in the last 10 years, and it's a long way back. You can't turn the ship overnight. It's just very, very difficult. But I think with people working hard and being able, I give you another story. We had a Cleveland company that I'm not going to name at this point, but they came down, and I met with one of the university presidents yesterday, and he said the reaction of the company was they came down to Columbus and they met with real people, and we now believe that we're going to get some really good news out of that company. So, but Bill, this is a tough road back. It's a long road. I mean, we got to keep lowering our costs. We have to demonstrate to companies that it's good to expand here, that we will be with them, and that companies out of state that we want to be responsive to them. But look, I mean, I can't overemphasize the long road back. And maybe the numbers pop up next month, who knows? But I'm not going to live and die on a monthly report. I just know we just got to keep working hard.
Governor, in the event the conference committee comes up with extra money in the budget next month, do you have a preference on how that might be used? For example, to reduce the impact of cuts on local government funds?
No, I think that, first of all, we have to be careful because, this economy is shaky. I mean, $3 and now $3.74 gas. Last time I blinked, it was $3.99. You don't want to be. You don't want to. You're going to have issues that you're going to have to deal with. So I just don't think you can. Look, the Senate is, I believe, going to operate in a good bounds. And but we have to kind of have a conservative approach to everything because there's a lot of contingencies that could pop up down the road. We'll see.
Governor, we play word association here. If I say
Probably
Newt Gingrich,
no, I'm not going to.
Speaker of the House, you were Budget Committee Chairman.
Yeah.
Would he not be a natural choice for you for president to endorse?
Look, I've talked to this week. I talked to Pawlenty. I've talked to Romney. Who else did I talk to? I said, look, I'm not making any decision on that. I was for Haley. I just basically told everybody, and now that he's out, I just got too many things I have to focus on. So I'm not really thinking much. And I returned their calls because they were trying to reach me. And but I'm not going to make any commitment. I got too much I got to focus on than that election right now.
Governor, do you support the inclusion of juvenile justice reform or major changes, including removal of bindovers of minors who committed major crimes? House inserted that. Senator Grendell, Senate Justice Committee, Criminal Justice, opposes.
I don't know enough about it, but what I do, I don't know enough about specifically that. But what I do know is we've made gains on getting our kids out of the institutions and in a more community setting, which I consider to be really good. That's part of the reason why there's less need for facilities, but that's moving in the right direction. In terms of that particular amendment, I just don't know anything, not familiar with it.
Governor, I heard you on WTAM yesterday in Cleveland talking about casinos.
Yeah.
Just what is the latest?
Well, we're hoping that, I think we're going to get some information from our gaming experts in the next couple days. We will then be able to share this information. I won't, but they will. After I review it, they'll share it with the gaming operators, and a lot of things have to be decided, right? Racetracks, VLTs, cat taxes, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So let me make it clear for the 50th time. I want them to open. It's important that they open. The reason why we are where we are is because, frankly, Ohio had no plan. And this was decided with a constitutional amendment. Not exactly the best way to decide what you're going to do on gaming. So we'll have a comprehensive plan, and at some point you'll all find out about it. And I've just stressed, you got to go fast. But if I hadn't used an RFP process to pick the gaming expert, then I'd be standing here answering Laura's question about what was the process you used. So, I mean, I had to follow the process, but it's been pretty quick. I mean, it's 120 days, and I know I don't want to say much more. Things seem to have settled down while we move forward.
Governor, the New York Times had a front page story yesterday about private prisons that they don't necessarily save as much as anticipated. And this was the Arizona Department of Corrections research.
Yeah, I saw.
Does that give you pause at all or concern about how Ohio should approach this?
I asked Gary Moore about it this morning, and I noticed it yesterday. And he believes that we have a good process in place where what they have found in Arizona doesn't necessarily apply here in Ohio. So I'm comfortable with him. I mean, a warden in 4 institutions, working in the private sector, I think his program is good, and I'd encourage you to make a request as to how he critiques it. He has a critique for me. I haven't seen it yet, but I asked him about it because I was concerned about it. So, again, when I read it in the New York Times, I believe half of what I see and less than that of what I read. So, I'd encourage you to talk to him.
Governor, are you concerned about these polls showing SB 5 likely to be repealed? If the election were tomorrow, just about every demographic does not support SB 5.
Yeah, I think most people don't really know what it even is. So I think that as people find out what it is, I think people will say, look, why am I paying twice? Why am I paying for my own health care and for somebody else's? I mean, but we'll see. It's a long way to November. One point I was down, was it when you guys all thought this was silly, my candidacy, I was down 30 or 40 points, and I think I won.
May I go to silly for a moment?
Silly, yes.
All of
License
the networks.
Okay.
All of the networks, the cable networks, are spending a lot of time on the Arnold Schwarzenegger issue. Is it an issue? Is it hurting politicians? Is it as important as the national news and local news seem to make it? You're very careful with your personal life. I know you keep things.
Well, but I mean, I don't look. I just really don't have any comment on it. I'd have to really think about it. I watched a little bit last night, and I know that I had a big thing the other day, and I said I was thinking about changing the color of the driver's license, and it's like I walk out and we're splitting atoms in here, and the first question is, what about those pink driver's licenses? I mean, we just live in a 24/7 news cycle, and I just don't have anything really.
I thought she was going with the Rapture tomorrow.
Governor,
someday somebody's going to be right.
Governor, what do
you expect to be here tomorrow?
What are you thinking right now about clemency for Sean Hawkins?
We are very close. It's always very difficult to go through an execution. and I believe there is considerable doubt. In fact, I told Director Moore that we needed to have, I think we're pretty well, you know what, I think I should not say it. I'm going to put out a statement as soon as I've drawn a conclusion. Let me stop there before I get myself in
Why stop?
trouble.
You seem like you're ready
You know
to tell
why?
us.
You know why? Because when I don't stop, then I got to spend 24 hours explaining everything, and it wears me down. So, no, we will have something to say about that. And what Director Moore and I agreed to, and not just Gary, but people close around me who sit in on each of these. We were on the phone for each of these. We are not going to go forward with an execution where we are not certain. Okay, and we are looking at this right now. It's under consideration. We'll have something to say about this shortly.
Governor, back to SB 5, the pollsters seem to think that this is ultimately going to become a referendum on you and your approach to governing. Do you think that's the case?
No. No, I don't. I think these are people who are very nervous and upset and concerned, and and people that are trying to protect what they have, and I think it just is. That's what it is. I mean, we've had, Voinovich has had referendums. Jim Rhodes put jobs in Ohio, and it just happens. It's part of the political system. But no, I don't think that's right.
All right, Aaron.
Okay, thank you all very much.